Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Steve. Now, I'm a little upset, man. I'm a little upset because I was watching Undisputed, or maybe it was First Take. I don't remember. Both of the hosts on that show, they're both a word that I would like to say, but I can't say. But I'll just say they're very beautiful women. Um, Look, I was watching both of those shows, right? I came back from a 5-hour basketball workout, and on my way home, I'm listening to their show. And I get very upset that they're saying if LeBron loses game 3, he will lose, well, his legacy will take a hit. Here's the thing. If he loses, his legacy may take a hit in the sense that it depends on how bad he loses. Okay? Because think about it. 5-10 years from now, people aren't going to remember that LeBron James didn't play well in the second half of games 1 and 2. People aren't going to remember that. What people will remember, though, is the box score. LeBron pretty much averaging a triple-double. That's what people are going to remember. So it's not the fact that he's playing bad. Okay, that's not what people are going to remember. And I'm not saying he's playing bad. I had a few people a little salty yesterday, which I really don't give a shit. Excuse me for cursing. But I had a few people a little upset yesterday that I was criticizing LeBron. But you have to understand, I'm so harsh on LeBron because I think he's the greatest ever. But I also had to be realistic. Okay, there are times where LeBron James pisses me off because the way he plays pretty much feeds the fire. You know, excuse me for that, I had to move my chair. The way he plays fuels the fire for haters to say Michael Jordan is still better. That discussion, to me, ended back after the 2016 finals. But, you know, the whole purpose is that it's not about if he doesn't show up in the second half. People are going to forget that. I won't, but people will forget that. It's about how bad the Cavaliers lose. That is the deciding factor in whether or not his legacy will take hit. For example, no one knocks LeBron for losing in 2014. You have some people do like Skip Bayless, but you know, they have people say Kawhi locked LeBron up. He did not lock LeBron James up. It wasn't even close to being a locked up, okay? First of all, Kawhi Leonard supposedly won Finals MVP for his defense on LeBron, okay? But somehow, some way, LeBron averaged like 29, 8, and 8, shot 60% from the field, 50% from 3, okay? And it's the same situation in the 2015 finals. Like, Andre Iguodala wins Finals MVP when Steph Curry deserved it because Andre won it because of his great defense on LeBron, but yet LeBron pretty much was a walking triple-double, carrying them to 6 games. Stephen Curry deserved that Finals MVP, let's be real. But it's not even just that. Okay, no one really knocks LeBron for losing in 2014. No one knocks LeBron for losing in 2007. No one knocks LeBron for losing in 2015. But if he loses in 5 games, 6 games, okay? Now, I wouldn't say 6, maybe not 6, but if he loses in 4 or 5 games to this Golden State Warrior team, you damn well people are going to say the conversation is over. LeBron's not even close to being as good. Ooh, I want to eat those. I'm sitting at my kitchen table because I have something in the oven, and I see this Townhouse pita bread with sea salt on it. Oh my gosh, I want to devour that, but I have to make these videos. Look, it doesn't matter because LeBron's going to have a great box score. He's a stat sheet stuffer, okay? So I'm not worried about people looking back like, oh, he underperformed. No one's going to remember he didn't play well or he only took 2 shots in the 4th quarter. No one's going to remember that. But what people will remember is him getting swept or him losing in 5 games. They're going to say, Jordan never lost in 5 games. Jordan never got swept in the finals. You know, they're going to say, oh, well, Jordan never even went to 7 games in the finals. Okay, and oh my, Skip Bayless, oh dude, he was saying, I was watching, I don't remember if I told you guys, but I came back from a 5-hour workout and I was driving home watching Skip Bayless and ESPN First Take. I was going back and forth on my little, I have like a touchscreen, huge screen on my car that I can watch on the dashboard because your boy got it like that. Let me stop. Thank you guys. Anyway, you guys know why I say thank you. I say it all the time. But anyway, and Skip Bayless was saying like, Michael Jordan, you know, he played tougher teams than LeBron, and he was saying like, oh, I'm trying to remember exactly what he said so I don't misquote him. He was saying something along the lines of, Michael Jordan had to face a really good teams like the Showtime Lakers or, you know, like Magic Johnson Lakers, but Magic Johnson was out of his prime. James Worthy was out of his prime. He didn't even finish that series. And if you guys don't even know who James Worthy is, this is a player that won Finals MVP over Magic Johnson. Now, it's not the same situation where Andre Iguodala won it over Stephen Curry. You got to go watch some highlights and, you know, do your research on James Worthy. He was a pretty solid player. Pretty good player, that is. Top 50 player ever. You know, Kareem, I don't even think Kareem was out of the league at that time. You know? And then what? The Portland Trailblazers, Clyde Drexler was done. Okay? Yeah, I don't even want to get into this conversation between LeBron and MJ, but that's pretty much what it always comes to, because we all know. Like, I'm happy LeBron came out and said that he did it by being him. Okay? And I think Marcellus, I think that's on either, I don't remember which show Marcellus is on. I'm pretty sure it's First Take. I remember him with Max Kellerman. Marcellus was saying something along the lines of, LeBron isn't necessarily chasing Jordan. He's using Jordan as motivation. And he said something like, in August, when LeBron doesn't want to get up for to practice or put shots up, he thinks of what Michael Jordan would have done. In December, when LeBron wants to take a week off and, you know, doesn't want to play because he's tired and he doesn't like the regular season because it's a waste of time, he thinks of what Michael Jordan would have done. And just things like that. You know, LeBron doesn't use Michael Jordan in the way people think. And I never really thought about it the way Marcellus said it. And it really opened my mind. Like, my mind's like, you sound like a dummy. No more cursing. Sorry, guys. You sound like a dummy, Steve. Okay? Sorry about that, guys. Look, I never really thought about it the way Marcellus said it. You know, it was really genius the way he said that. LeBron uses Michael Jordan for motivation. And from my perspective, and a lot of you guys' perspective as well, which is why a lot of you guys were a little salty yesterday. You guys believe, just like I do, that LeBron already passed Michael Jordan after the 2016 finals. And if it weren't for him, and if he didn't pass him already, he's definitely neck and neck with him. So we all agree with that. Some think he's better, some think he's not, some people think Jordan's still better. That's cool. We all have our own different opinions. We don't have to cry about it. It's whatever. I'll sit here and I'll say this. I understand arguments for Michael Jordan. I've said that before. But I also understand arguments for LeBron James. And I understand arguments for LeBron more than I do for Michael Jordan. Okay? Because Michael Jordan, while he was a great player, a great defensive player, great offensive player, you also have to understand that the game is harder now than it was then. Back then, all you can play was man-to-man defense. Back then, you were allowed to hand check on the perimeter. You try and do this. Put your arms behind your back, okay? And try to just play defense by sliding your feet only. No putting your hand to guide you while the defender is trying to cross you over. None of that. Just put your hands behind him and try to stay in front of the defender with your hands behind your back, with some of these ridiculous players in the league like Stephen Curry, Kyrie Irving, Damian Lillard, John Wall, okay? And I'm just talking about guards. What about Dwyane Wade in his prime, Kobe in his... Try that, okay? The shooting ability, the spreading the floor, the big men shooting. Okay, so that's one of the major factors, the major deciding factors in why I think LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. And another factor is that, I love how this is turning into a who's better video. Another factor, and I'm going to get back to the main topic in a second. Another factor is the fact that Michael Jordan never really had competition at his position. And when he did, he got embarrassed, you know? Now, I'm not going to sit here and say LeBron didn't lose, you know, when he had competition at a young age, but LeBron wasn't getting swept in the first round. You know, LeBron was at least going deep in the playoffs. LeBron wasn't making the playoffs going 32-50. You know, LeBron, when he faced Paul Pierce, okay, maybe he lost the series, but he was still averaging 35 points per game. When LeBron lost to Dwight Howard, Hedo Turkoglu, Rashard Lewis, Jameer Nelson, and the rest of them boys, coached by Stan Van Gundy, a really good coach, LeBron lost, but the dude was averaging 35 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. You know, when LeBron went against the Detroit Pistons that won the championship 3 years prior and were still one of the best teams in the league, LeBron scored the final 28 out of, I don't remember, I think it was like 29 out of 30 points, but the final 25 or 26 points for the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know, so that's the deciding. LeBron carried his team to the '07 finals. You know, yeah, he got swept, but at least he made the final. We punished LeBron for making it farther than Jordan. How about you change that for a second and punish Jordan for not making it as far as LeBron? How about we do that? Okay? Because if you take off final success, or if you want to just look at playoff success, let me do this real quick in my head. How many years did Michael Jordan play? 14 seasons. He won 6. Okay? So, let's say, how about we do this from this perspective? Making the NBA Finals is, let's use that. Let's pretend making the finals is like winning a championship. LeBron has 8, Michael Jordan has 6. Okay? Now let's also look at it from the perspective of just playoff success in general. LeBron is better. Not in terms of just pure winning championships, but making it farther longer. You know? Anyway, the whole purpose is that if LeBron and the Cavs get swept, his legacy will definitely take a hit because he's in his prime and he's going to get swept. I mean, he got swept when he was 22 against the Spurs, but it's different now that he's in his prime. But people like us will understand, look what he's going up against. His team and him don't stand a chance. Which is why I think Melo needs to come to the Cavs if LeBron wants to win more championships. But we also have to understand that other people aren't going to look at it from the same perspective that we will. We're going to look at it and say, look at Kevin Durant, look at Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. 4 All-NBA players, 4 All-Stars. But people aren't going to say that. People are going to say, LeBron wasn't good enough to win 1 in his prime. So if he gets swept, that's what people are going to say. And his legacy will definitely take a hit from those people, from that perspective. From our perspective, he's still going to be the greatest ever. Okay? For example, is Jerry West not a top 25 player ever? Okay? Is Jerry West not one of the greatest players ever? And what is he, like 1 for 7, 1 for 8 in the finals? You know? I mean, come on. Let's be real for a second. It's not just all about championships. Because if it were, Bill Russell would be the greatest player ever. Okay? Robert Horry would be one of the greatest players. Who's that other dude on the Boston Celtics that has 8? I can't remember his name right now. Another NBA all-time great has 8. Okay? If that were the case, you know, and NBA championships were that case, then guess what? Kobe's better than Magic. I think Magic has 4 or 5, but guess what? Kobe's better than Larry, or Dr. J's not even top 10, like crazy stuff like that. So this whole thing, this whole notion that his legacy will take a hit, it might, depending on how well he plays the next few games. But I still think the Cavaliers are gonna win this game, win this series. I know I said if the Warriors win Game 2, they win the series. So all right, let me take that back. I think the Warriors are going to win, but I'm not going to doubt LeBron. I have confidence in LeBron James. If anyone can come back and do this against this team, it's LeBron James.